Besides WrestleMania, WWE Backlash tends to be one of my favorite PLEs of the year because they tend to go to overseas and different places for this event, with 2 years ago them going to Puerto Rico, as well as last year going to France, and those crowds going absolutely wild. However, this year WWE Backlash is in St. Louis, and I hope that this year the crowd goes crazy. In today's video, we are going to go over my predictions of who I think is winning in this year's WWE Backlash. And like I said, they'll be in St. Louis this year, and there are 5 matches scheduled for the event, live on Peacock or on Netflix, depending on where you are from. And it's scheduled to be on at 7 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Hey everybody, I'm JLD and I'm a wrestling content creator from New York City. I make everything from wrestling related unboxings, vlogs, predictions, and even some WWE 2K gameplay in the process. If you like wrestling, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way you get some of the best wrestling content out there, and consider becoming a YouTube member if you enjoy this video to get early access to videos just like this one, and many other perks that regular subscribers do not get. Part of me feels like this year Backlash is going to be a filler PLE rather than like a main PLE similar to how it was the 2 years before. I don't feel like there's going to be as many pops as there usually used to be in this event, but that's okay because not everything is the same. I'm going to go over the 5 different matches that are going to be happening this coming Saturday, and this is in no particular order. See, the thing with Backlash is there's not really that much time to push a storyline because we literally got off of WrestleMania a few weeks ago. People are still thinking about WrestleMania and the high that came from either being there, watching it, being a part of it, etc. So while we're still thinking about Mania, it's hard to keep track also of storylines 2 weeks after Mania into another PLE. So I feel like it doesn't give us enough time to be excited for Backlash rather than just still thinking about WrestleMania. So the first match that's happening at Backlash is Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. First of all, this storyline already didn't make sense with the fact that they won the tag team titles together at WrestleMania just to lose it the night after. And like the whole point of this storyline is for Becky Lynch to betray Lyra Valkyria. They literally could have done that at WrestleMania if they would have lost because maybe Lyra took the pinfall. But regardless, Becky Lynch betrayed her at the night after WrestleMania, and now they have a match for the Women's Intercontinental title. And I feel like Lyra Valkyria needs this push from Becky Lynch because I feel like the crowd isn't fully behind her. Like, they know who she is, they're happy she's champion, but there's not much to go behind her with. And I feel like the past 2 promos she's been doing on Monday Night Raw have helped her. I just hope either she becomes a heel or they push her freaking promos to the moon and her skills just get better. In the ring, she's fantastic. I think she's great in the ring, but I think they need to push her a little bit more with her personality so the crowd is much more with her. In regard to who I think is going to win, I have a feeling Lyra Valkyria might retain, but knowing how Becky Hogan is, I would be pretty upset if Becky won the Women's Intercontinental title. I hope it's not a case where they're just trying to push the Intercontinental title itself rather than pushing Lyra Valkyria, because I think Lyra needs this push. She's great as a champion, but I think the crowd needs to be more in favor of her a little more, because I feel like there's even times where I forget that she's a champion. Anyway, I hope Lyra retains, and I think that's what I'm going to go with for this result. Next up, we got Dominik Mysterio versus Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. Part of me feels like Dominik Mysterio will be retaining, and the reason for that is El Grande Americano is most likely going to get in the way, as well as Finn Balor with Carlito. But I don't think it's going to be as simple as Chad Gable grabs Penta's leg and then that's it, and then Dominik wins. I think there's going to be something that happens where Finn Balor almost cost Dominik the match, but Dominik is able to save it himself, and there's some tension before the end of the match. Maybe even like a little stare down in the process. What do you think? But for my prediction, I think Dominik Mysterio's retaining, barely. Next up, we have the Fatal 4-Way United States Championship match with Jacob Fatu defending against Damian Priest, LA Knight, and Drew McIntyre. I already know Jacob Fatu's retaining at this point. There is no way they're gonna have Drew McIntyre or Priest or anybody take that belt after the first title defense. Jacob Fatu is going to find a way with Solo Sikoa or Tama Tonga to get the win. Or similar to Dominik Mysterio, maybe Solo Sikoa might almost cost Jacob Fatu the title, but he's able to clutch it and still win, with Drew McIntyre probably being the second favorite to win. And if Jacob Fatu were to somehow lose the belt, I'd want it to be Drew, but I don't think that's happening. This has potential to be match of the night because there are 4 pretty stacked superstars in this. I could see LA Knight doing BFTs from the top turnbuckle, Claymore kicks onto Jacob Fatu doing like 5 moonsaults before he pins Priest or something. Something's gonna happen that's gonna make this awesome. But yeah, for my predictions for this, Jacob Fatu's the winner. Next up, we got Pat McAfee versus Gunther. I don't know how to feel about this. Part of me doesn't think Pat McAfee's winning. There's been rumors that apparently this is the lead up for Gunther versus Bill Goldberg. I don't know what to think of that. They're not even in Atlanta for this, so If I had to guess, Gunther's probably gonna destroy Pat McAfee because Jey Uso's not even focused on Gunther right now, and no one besides Michael Cole is involved in the storyline between the two. And I have a feeling Michael Cole is somehow gonna get involved, whether it's grabbing Gunther's leg or the crowd's gonna go wild with it, or Michael Cole's gonna like try to hit him with a chair. That would be cool, but I don't know. I personally don't think Pat McAfee could win this match, especially with Gunther losing 2 weeks ago at WrestleMania to a tap out. I don't think it's gonna happen. It would make his character look weak. And it would be okay if Pat McAfee loses. Like, it's not like he wrestles full-time anyway, so if he lost, it's not a big deal. We still love him as a ring announcer and commentary. So as much as it'll be cool to see Pat McAfee compete, I think Gunther's gonna absolutely annihilate him. Then finally, we have our main event, John Cena versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. Obviously, John Cena is gonna be winning this match. I don't think Randy Orton's gonna win it in his hometown. It would make no sense for Cena to win his belt against Cody Rhodes and then just go ahead and lose it like 2 weeks later to Randy Orton. It just doesn't make sense unless John Cena is really trying to ruin wrestling and win it again before his farewell tour is over to become an 18-time champion. Just please, for the love of God, Triple H, do not let Travis Scott interfere in this match. If John Cena is going to retain the title, he needs to retain it clean, or Cody Rhodes needs to come out and interfere. I think there's going to be a spot where Randy Orton almost punt kicks Cena, but Cena's able to get through with it. Maybe the ref is going to get pushed down and John Cena does the low blow onto Randy Orton, and then a RKO happens and the ref's down. So that's what I think could happen. But at the end of the day, John Cena is still going to be your WWE champion, the real world champion. Those are my thoughts on WWE Backlash. I feel like it's not as hyped up as it has been in the past few years, but they do what they can. And with 2 weeks of storyline, 2-3 weeks of storyline, I feel like they're just doing the best they can. And I hope that it ends up being a good event. Comment below which match you're looking forward to the most. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way you get some amazing content from us. And with that being said, I'll see you guys at WWE Backlash. Have a great day, everybody. See you in the next video.